Good day, everyone. To formally start, let me introduce to you our group. My name is Julian Julius, together with my group mates, Mr. Karaig, Mr. Doria, and Mr. Sarmiento. So we will discuss the case study at Carpio Internet Cafe in Quezon City. Next slide, please. So there have been many computer cafe closures. So as a result of restrictions ever since the pandemic began. Given the new circumstances, a few computer cafes that comply with the government's health and safety regulations are now open. So the computer cafes aren't perfect, though, and the researchers will help the selected computer cafe by suggesting various techniques that will help their business grow, whether it's their layout or computer network that needs improvement. Next slide, please. So their existing computer network, next slide, uh, for their network architecture. So this internet cafe's existing computer network uses the star topology. So unlike other topology configurations, star topologies are protected from errors that occasionally exist. Compared to other topologies, star topology require fewer cables for the physical network architecture. So they are simple to set up and maintain over time. The network design simplicity makes it much simpler for administrators to troubleshoot performance issues. So the central switch serves as its sole point of control and is capable of managing the entire network. Next slide, please. So for their physical and logical topology, so this is their physical and logical topology. They have one server PC that is linked to a switch, router, and printer, and their client PCs are connected to the server PC through the switch. So they have a total of 20 client PCs. They are also utilizing diskless setup, which is a computer system without hard drives. Instead, each computer uses network attached storage drives on a server to store data. Next slide, please. So there's is the existing computer specification. So this is their server PC. Next slide. And next slide. And this is their client PC. So they have 20 client PCs. Next slide, please. Next presenter.
So in internet connectivity infrastructure, further, they use PLDT fiber 500 Mbps. PLDT fiber's pure fiber business internet is designed for maximum efficiency, so you can have the most flexibility and boost your productivity as necessary. This plan enables you to increase speeds during the day when your business requires it the most. The ISP maintains connections to other networks and ISPs, acting as a router for internet traffic between a customer computer and any other machine also connected to the internet anywhere else in the world. So connectivity device, their hub is TP-Link TLSG 108D. Their switch is TP-Link 16-port fast Ethernet unmanaged switch. Router is TP-Link Archer C P5400 access point, TP-Link EAP 225V3 wireless access point. Then their Wi-Fi is PLDT fiber. So their transmission media LAN cables are used as a wired transmission data for the computers to communicate to the server or the internet. Transmission media is used to exchange and transit information or data across the server. So next is security policy. Security is one of the first and foremost consideration when setting up Carpio's Computer Cafe. So the following are the guidelines to follow in Carpio's Computer Shop. Secure every PC individually with all necessary antivirus and anti-spyware clients to provide a basic level of protection. Next is to extent that is possible, all machines should be managed centrally. Next is to take into account your customers' individual needs. And lastly is some of the most popular cyber cafe software solutions include a security manager that will help you monitor all your systems and allow you to change settings on the fly. Next presenter, please.
So hello. For the for the existing layout, we have the floor plan. So in the floor plan, we will see the current existing layout of the computer shop, and we will see the 20 computers available in the computer shop and the other electrical devices. Next slide, please. So next is the electrical layout. So here we will see all the available electrical devices that are used in the shop, like the air conditioner, wall fan, light bulb, and the duplex electrical outlet. Next. So for their physical topology, they are using our a star topology, which connects all the computers in a single hub and makes them all available in one network and allowing for them to have this class setup and be able to communicate with one another. So next is the network layout. Just like the network topology, we can see all the different client PCs connected to one switch, which will be connected to the server PC and the router. So all PCs are connected into a single switch, which connects them to a single network and allowing the cafe to manage all the client PCs. Next slide, please.
So for the observation of the existing computer network, next slide. So we observe that their modem is attached to either the router or the firewall in their network architecture. So all of the cafe's equipment, including the printer, client computers, server, and Wi-Fi are connected by the switch. The connections between their router and switch lead us to the conclusion that they employ the star topology network diagram. Next slide, please. So for their topology, there are a lot of benefits of using their network architecture, such as centralized network, user-friendly, very reliable. So if one cable or device fails, the others will continue to function normally. It is also highly efficient. The probability of data collisions is comparatively low because each device uses its own cable to connect to the central core. So as in star topology, and lastly, it is easily manageable. The link is frequently simple to identify, making the fault detection simple. So additionally, troubleshooting and identifying the issues are simple. Next slide, please. So computer specification, we observe that all of the client PCs can be managed by the server PC without any issues. And the server PC houses all of the client PC storage, while the client PCs operate on a diskless system. So it enables the client PCs to access all of the programs and data stored on the server computer over the network. So for their client PC, even though the client PCs at the internet cafe aren't the best, their specifications are sufficient to meet the needs of their users, and the games and software that are offered can function without any issues. Next presenter, please.
So in the internet connectivity, the internet cafe at Carpio uses PLDT fiber for internet connectivity. When it comes to internet connectivity, PLDT fiber is also good. The connection speed of 500 Mbps is made available to subscribers, enabling the smooth streaming of high definition movies and other high bandwidth multimedia services. Connectivity devices, we notice that the model that they use for the connectivity devices are fast and all of them are brand new. They also use the brand that is commonly used in the country. The router is all-in-one, and this model is also for gaming, which is great because their cafe focuses on entertaining their customer through games. They also use the 16-port switch and 8-port hub, and the reason is they plan to add more client PC. They also have access points. Their chosen model can be mounted on walls, which makes it efficient in range. Res- Transmission media. We may conclude that this is a better solution for the current setup of the Purpose Cafe because they are employing wired transmission media. The only advice we can provide them is to replace their outdated wiring in order to keep the things running smoothly. So in their security policy, we noticed that they focus their policy entirely on cybersecurity. Their, se- their security for data is flawless. They do not allow anyone to edit out their data by securing it with licensed software that could help them restore the original state before the client PC was used. In the softwares, it is possible because the deep freeze application. This allows the computer to return to the original state after the customer used it. Next presenter.
So for the observation of the existing layout for the floor plan, we have noticed that the Arcus Internet Cafe is suitable for medium-sized computer cafe, and the number of client PCs satisfies the space requirement for the safety of the customers. The computers are evenly spaced for the customers and can accommodate more computers. Next. For the electrical layout, we have noticed that Carver's Internet Cafe vertical electrical layout is very simple for video size internet cafes. It contains wall fans, air conditioners, light bulbs for the whole room, and the light outlet for the computers. And one is therefore the electrical layout is good because they just keep it simple. Nice. So their existing physical topology is the most common and most effective network as star topology allows for all computers to have a central network and allows them to communicate with each other. It's like so same with the physical topology, we have talked about the different client PCs and connected to the switch and router and allowing them to be managed by the server, which we noticed that are very good for a computer.
So for the proposed computer network architecture. For network architecture, the star topology was the most practical and effective. We propose the bus topology because it provides small to medium businesses with an easy to connect connection that uses fewer wires, but it only uses linear wires for connection, even though they can change their topology to save even more money. So next slide, please. For topology for an internet cafe, so yeah, star topology is the best option because it effectively manage all connected devices at once, despite the fact that we can offer them an alternative topology, given that they are a medium-sized business and have 20 client computers. So bus topology may be a better option for them, given that it uses less cable and can save them money. Next slide, please. So for the proposed computer specification, this is the proposed server PC. Only the processor, motherboard, and graphics card were upgraded, and for the RAM, we simply added an additional 8 gig to make it 16 gig RAM. And for the storage, we increase it to 1 terabyte of SSD and 4 terabytes of HDD. So for the total upgrade for the server PC is 46,447 pesos. Next slide, please. So this is the proposed client PC. Next slide, please. So this is the proposed client PC, similar to the server PC. Only the processor, motherboard, and graphics card were upgraded. We also added an additional 5 gaming computers to make it 25 so that their business will grow much faster. So the total cost is 679,620 pesos. Next presenter, please.
So in our proposed internet connectivity is essential when operating businesses such as internet cafes. Their internet connection is already good, but we propose that they upgrade to a higher plan if they purchase another additional gaming computers. We suggest upgrading their PLDT plan into PLDT and Ascenso fiber plans to provide faster speeds for their internet cafe. Instead of 500 Mbps, they will receive 1 gigabyte. This will double the speed of their internet to prevent lags. Next is connectivity devices. They spent more than enough in connectivity devices. The router is expensive, although it is good for gaming, as it is said in the product description. Their ports and access points and switch are not the same count. We propose that they should balance the cost of their connectivity devices because their chosen model for router is not the best. So transmission media. Most they use most of their connection in Mars. We noticed that their wiring is great, but it can be better. Instead of pinning all the wires and tie their wirings, they can improve it by having their cable underground. This technique is mostly used in large businesses. This improves the safetiness and it is pleasing to the eye seeing no wires anywhere they look. This may be costly, but since their wiring is great, we cannot recommend anything that will save their finance. So next is security policy. We noticed that their security policy was flawless in terms of data security. We propose adding rules and guidelines in their security policy regarding on what their clients should follow. For example, foods are not allowed inside the cafe. Using hacks in games deep freeze and saving files permanently are highly prohibited. Importing scripts, commands, messages, etc. that could possibly harm the computer is prohibited. Also, they should list all the punishments that the customer will receive if they fail to cooperate. This way, the security policy is clear and showing the punishments will make them think about what they're doing to plan what they what they plan to do in their computers. So next is proposed layout.
So next is proposed layout for the computer shop. So notice the floor plan, nothing much of a difference from the existing layout. But we added here a client PCs. We added 5 more PCs in there, and we also added some electricals on it on electrical layout. So next slide, please. So here in electrical layout, as you can see, we added outlets beside between each PCs. So this to prevent uh, short circuit because if a blackout occurred, Some of the PCs may affect the hardware because of shortage of voltage in the outlets. So next slide, please. So this the physical topology. This the same as the network topology. So since they use the star network architecture topology, we cannot recommend any topology better than the star topology. Although we can recommend to them that they will still use the star topology even the way they added more client PCs. So next. So this the network layout. Uh, so this is the top view of the floor plan. We also indicated the units, servers, and connectivity devices with legends to explain the figure. The proposed network layout has one switch, and it also has router and server. The switch controls all the client PCs and the server, which make it star network architecture topology. So next. So this the actual features of the facility of the existing layout of the computer environment. So thank you for listening.